Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to News Dose, and we just got our first tangible piece of evidence that not only is the Switch successor backwards compatible, but it also seems likely that there will be improvements for at least some Nintendo Switch games as well. In fact, we now know of one such game that will get an upgrade, and we have information of at least one other according to a previous leak. So this really is incredible news. Not only are we going to get backwards compatibility, but it looks like we might actually get even more than that. Now do stay tuned for some Starfield and Kingdom Hearts news as well. But yeah, let's just go and get right into this Switch 2 story. And what's happening here is actually a leak from Nintendo's latest game, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Yeah, I mean, ironically here, Nintendo kind of leaked this out themselves through its coding. According to a data mine, there seems to be code for handling 4K resolutions in the new Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake. Now, I mean, we all know that the current Switch does not support 4K resolution, so it is a little bit bewildering as to why this new game here appears to support 4K resolution. But I think we kind of know the reason as to why. There is a very high chance here that this is in preparation for the Nintendo Switch successor, which has long been rumored to support 4K resolution while in docked mode. So not only does this indicate the Switch will support backwards compatibility, I know there's been a lot of concern over that, but even more so is that it sounds like that it could also offer upgraded visuals for previous games. Now that does beg some rather important questions though. First off is, will these upgrades be automatic? Can we just put our games into this new console and just automatically get 4K visuals? Is that possible? Kind of like boost mode. Xbox does that with a lot of their backwards compatible games, where the Xbox Series X just automatically makes them look and perform better than the original version does. Or will this instead be done through some kind of upgraded patch? Now, technically, it could be a bit of both, but when it comes to upgraded patches, that does bring its own questions. One is, are we looking at free upgrades, or instead are we looking at PlayStation strategy, where they often charge $10 to upgrade back Compat games? Those are questions that still remain unanswered. But at the bare minimum here, I do believe that we know of at least 2 games that will get some kind of an upgrade. Obviously, because it just leaked here, the first of which is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. 4K resolution pretty much seems to be a given by this point, and hopefully this will include 60 FPS as well. I know a lot of people have been very upset about its locked 30 FPS gameplay, just considering the original GameCube title was, of course, 60 FPS. But hopefully, the Switch 2 can come in and address that issue. I will say this, though. The timing of this leak doesn't exactly lean into Nintendo's favor here, just because I've already seen several people say that they're now going to wait to play Paper Mario on the Switch successor, considering, yeah, it does appear that it will get some kind of an upgrade. Now, I'm not recommending you do that. I'm going to play Paper Mario as soon as possible, but it is a choice that you can make based off of this data mine here. Now, the other upgraded game that we know about, though, is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, we first heard about this last year after Gamescom. Back then, a lot of leaks claimed that Nintendo showcased the Switch 2 behind closed doors, and one game that they showed running on the Switch 2 was an improved version of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And seriously, I mean, that is a game that actually does need an upgrade. I know people love it and everything, it's a great game, but in terms of performance, yeah, it could probably use some help. So again, we could potentially be looking at a 4K 60 FPS upgrade for Breath of the Wild as well, or at least a 4K stable 30 FPS if anything else. And really, I could just go down a list of Switch games that genuinely needs some kind of an upgrade like this. Look at something like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet as one such example. When those games first launched, a lot of people were very frustrated by its performance problems, rightfully so in that situation. And the long-running joke was that its supposed patch is actually the Switch successor itself. And, as ironic as it might be, those jokes might actually prove to be true. The Xenoblade series is another that could also use a bump in resolution. I think those could be some of the more notable upgrades if they get them, because, those games look great and everything. It's really just their resolution can't necessarily match their graphical quality. On a Switch successor, though, they could potentially really pop on that console. Pokemon Legends Arceus is another one that I think could benefit from an update. And the same goes for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, talk about a game that could pop on the Switch successor. Tears of the Kingdom is one of the best looking games on the current Switch, and it could really use a 4K upgrade. I mean, I'll just kind of say it this way. If the Switch successor truly does offer some kind of an upgrade for current Switch games, I think that alone would make the Switch successor more than worth it, because the Switch library is already honestly amazing. I mean, the only problem with the Switch really has been its lack of power. So the Switch 2 could potentially make those same games just that much more amazing, and it'll also help them age better. You know, for that matter, Nintendo games have always had strong legs. Year in, year out, they sell very, very well, and that's where this upgrade would be genius for Nintendo, because now they can basically sell us Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for an entirely new generation, because, yeah, it could now get something like 4K as well. Sorry to tell you all, but we're never going to get Mario Kart 9. We will be stuck with Mario Kart 8 for the next decade. I just kid. Or hopefully, you never really know. But this really is honestly big news, and it makes it just that much more exciting to get official news from Nintendo. Hopefully, we will get that sooner rather than later. But for the time being, for anybody that's concerned about backwards compatibility, you can now rest easy, because this is a pretty good indication that it will indeed support backwards compatibility. Give me your thoughts about all of this, though. If Nintendo truly offers next-generation upgrades, how do you expect them to go about this? Do you think they'll charge for those upgrades? And if they do, would you be willing to pay? Now, we also got an update for Starfield. Of course, last week, Bethesda dropped its 60 FPS performance upgrade, and this has proven to be a big success among fans. This was spotted thanks to true achievements. You can see here posted up by Hazador that Starfield's latest update with 60 FPS has boosted Xbox players by 72%. Now, I will say that this isn't a 100% accurate representation, but it does give you a loose idea that a lot of people are indeed going back to Starfield once again. More so, though, I think that it's further proof as to why you should push for a 60 FPS options in games right out of the gate. There's absolutely people out there that doesn't want to play 30 FPS on today's consoles, and they're willing to just flat out skip a game because of that. That's why there's so much controversy every single time a game gets announced with 30 FPS only. It just doesn't feel good to a lot of people, and those people are just kind of sick of it. Now, at the same time, there's other people out there that's fine with it, each to their own. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong, but thankfully here, Bethesda addressed that problem in Starfield, and now more people can enjoy it. Even for myself, even though I've already beat this game, I think I might go back and play it eventually a little later down the road and see how it feels on 60 FPS. Now, one last thing I want to quickly talk about is Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix recently announced various Kingdom Hearts games for Steam. That's a big announcement. I'm actually looking to play those games again on the Steam Deck. But now in a press release, they also confirmed the long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 4 will be multi-platform. You can see here in their press release that they said Kingdom Hearts 4, the next mainline entry in the series, is currently in development for console devices. And the back catalog of Kingdom Hearts titles will launch on Steam on June 13th of 2024. Now, Square Enix's new leadership recently did vow to be a more multi-platform company going forward, so this does kind of line up with that. But at the same time, we've seen Sony sign multiple big-time exclusives with Square Enix. So because this game has been in development for a while, there was a chance that maybe they signed a contract before that new leadership came in. And I think that's why this is such welcome news. We can now expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to launch on multiple consoles, which hopefully will include the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. There was a leak yesterday that claimed that Kingdom Hearts 4 will be on the Switch successor, and I do hope that turns out to be true. I'd also like to see it come to PC day one as well, just kind of throwing that out there. But yes, it looks like Square Enix is finally in good hands now. They're actually making good business decisions for a change. They're no longer allergic to money, and you have to love seeing that. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode, but do make sure to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace out.